Good evening and welcome. I will give y'all some time to join in the chat room here. I was sitting here listening to somebody talking about the weather and this extreme heat that is sweeping across the country from the west down into the deep south. So, y'all pad yourself up and get ready for it. If you ain't already getting it, you're going to get it. Um, I pray for everybody. I really do. I pray for the farmers and their crops and stuff like that, because it's going to get rough. Well, hi, Mr. Harold. How the heck are you? Hadn't seen you in a while there, sir. You've been keeping yourself a low key. And welcome whoever else is in the chat room. I'm going to turn my phone ringer down here and my other ringers so I don't get interrupted. I'm hoping for a few people to show up in the chat room because I want to talk about some love that people have out there. Uh, there's a lot of great people out here in the different YouTube communities and stuff. And, a lot of people right now need prayers. A lot of people's health is not good. Their family members' health aren't good. And we need to really sincerely pray to the Lord for healing for our country, because our country is on a downward spiral real fast, real quick. And a lot of us are losing loved ones real quick, a lot quicker than what we should be. And it's sad. So I'm going to give a few more minutes here, see if some other people pop in the chat room, which I really hope they do, and let me know that they're in the chat room. I sent a link to a couple of people. I don't know that they're going to come up on panel, but I sent them a link anyway, because well, they're great. They're great people, and they have big hearts, and they love a lot of people on the YouTube community. Whether you're in prepping, whether you're in gardening, hiking, boating, it doesn't matter what you're into. A lot of people have a lot of love to share with a lot of people. Well, hi, Dancing with Bears and Running with Wolves. Good evening. How are you doing, my dear? I was going to send you a link, but I figured you was out and about or enjoying your day. I know it's hotter than the well diggers, but here in the great state of Tennessee, um, we're 98, and with the heat index over here where I'm at, it's a little bit hotter. Well, that's a good thing. I'm glad you're still living. I'm glad you're still kicking. I pray things are going well. It's finally hot there. Well, you're lucky, right, Harold? Because it sure is hot down south. And I'm afraid it's going to get even hotter. You were told you had no heart. Is that what you're trying to say there, Harold? You missed a letter if that's what you were saying. Everybody's got a heart, whether it's a cold heart or a bitter heart. Everybody's got a heart. No fan, no AC, but I'm good. Ooh, That sucks. That really sucks. Yes, it's hot here too. It is. Miss Deb said there was some rain down in Georgia earlier today. Did you get some rain, Harold? I think it lasted for about 5 minutes. It just, she thought she was going to get a good rain, but apparently it didn't last very long. So, y'all don't be bashful about saying something in the chat room if you're sitting out there on the sidelines watching. Feel free to make a comment or something and let us know that you're in the chat room. It would be greatly appreciated. I mean, I don't mind that people want to, you know, just sit and listen. That's okay too, because I know some of y'all are um, working in your gardens and doing other things. The storm this morning, yeah, it was this morning when I talked to her on the phone. Got about 10 raindrops here. It said thunder and severe thunderstorms. Yeah. Well, we ain't going to get no rain here until probably sometime next week. So it looked really it looked really hazy and foggy out here today. I made a run out to the store and back. Me and Sydney. I don't want to drive my car too far until I take it and have it looked at next week, um, and see if they can find out what is actually going on near that transmission. It's not the transmission itself; it's just other parts that are connected to the transmission. You know, it could be the wiring harness, because on some of these newer cars, the wiring is closed down by the transmission casing, and with the heat and stuff. All right, Harold. Um, and with the heat and stuff on it. Hey, Miss Malachi, how are you, sister? Much love, girl. I'm gonna say something to you in a minute. Um, but anyway, what I was talking about the car, it could be the part that it was diagnosed at, but it could also be wiring, um, where the coating is melting off the wiring and causing it to short out. So um, I have them start with the little things first and work their way up. And Malachi, you know, dancing with bears and running with wolves. She's incognito. Oh, look, she knew who you were. Malachi, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I could go camping with you with some of your practical jokes you like to play on people. You crack me up with that fart spray and then you start choking on it. Hey, bestie, I sent you a link. You need to come up here. I need you up on panel with me. I really, really sincerely do. But because I titled this video, y'all hit the thumbs up out there for Miss Kim. I know you can do it. Your fingers aren't broke. Um, I titled this video talking about love, and I probably need to go and get my Kleenexes real quick because I didn't bring them over here. And when I get to talking about this, I may start shedding a tear or two, or five or six. I don't know. Um, but it's all good. It's nothing bad, and so I'm gonna wait and see. I'm hoping to get a few more folks in here, but they can always watch the replay and leave a comment. Uh, Leaving a comment would be greatly appreciated as well, and a thumbs up, because it seems like the only thumbs up I get is when I'm doing a live stream, which is okay. I don't get butthurt about that. Uh, I don't even get butthurt about nobody leaving no comment. Uh, Ain't no sense in getting butthurt over petty stuff. So, Sydney, while you're coming out here, can you do Mom a favor? Oh, she's not. I thought she was coming out here, but she wasn't. She was closing her door so she didn't have to hear me. Michelle, she really loves that necklace. Thank you for showing that to me. I'm glad she liked it. Oh, y'all, here's Miss asking you, with me. Do you feel up to being here, honey?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Okay.
Hi,
Well,
everybody.
um, yeah, I needed you up here. I really need to see your face, but I know you don't particularly like to do that on a live stream very often.
No, not when I look this bad.
You don't look bad.
Yeah, I do.
You look great. No, you don't. You're only as bad as you feel. In my
Uh,
case, I feel like I'm 150 years old, but I'm not. But y'all, I want to talk about love. You know, love love comes in many shape, fashions, and forms, and love through comes through in many different ways. You don't have to tell everybody every day that you love them. Your actions, your words, and things like that speak louder than words sometimes. And um, like I've said before on some of my YouTube channel, videos, I've met some great people and some people not so great. And but I've some of you ladies in here, I love y'all. Well, not some of you, all of you. I love all of you, in spite of me not knowing you on a personal level. Um, God says we should love no one and shouldn't have anger in our heart for no one. And I don't hold no bitterness or angerness towards anyone. You do what you feel is right. But um, the reason why I asked Michelle, particularly up here on the live stream, is because I love Miss Michelle.
uh,
Miss Michelle's got a big, big heart, and she tries to do what she can for people, you know. And sometimes, the more you do for people, sometimes the less you feel like you're appreciated. And I just want her to know that I appreciate her as a friend, just like Malachi, Mary, Kicking It with Harold, Miss Tony, and many, many others. Stands Alone, Suburban Hillbilly, uh, Idaho Garden Girl. I mean, I could go on and on and on. You know, Hi, Linda. How are you, sweetie? Mama
hey,
loves you.
Linda.
Um, you know, I I had bought something from Miss Michelle, and I got it today, and it just looks like a regular, ordinary rock. But it's not just a regular, ordinary rock. Just like Michelle is not a regular, ordinary person. She is
Oh,
a beautiful lady, and she's got such a loving and giving heart, just like a lot of others out here got a loving and giving heart. And I just want to tell her how much I appreciate her and how much I love her and how much I thank God that we have met and we become friends. And like this rock, when she hurts, I hurt. When Malachi hurts, I hurt. When my daughter Linda hurts, I hurt. When Miss Mary hurts, I hurt. When Miss Phyllis hurts, I hurt. When anybody out there that has joined me in my journey here on YouTube, whenever y'all hurt, I hurt with you.
right.
Whenever you're going through something, I try to go through it with you. I'm not the best person in the world, but I'm not the worst either. There's a lot out there that are a lot worse than me.
Yep.
And but when you, like I said, this it looks like an ordinary rock, but when you crack it open and you see what's inside, you see the beauty inside of that. you know, and there's a lot of love and beauty in a lot of people's hearts,
Yep.
and a lot of people don't don't like feeling like they're being used in some kind of a way for someone's personal satisfaction and gain, you know, and it bothers me to see that people do that uh, to other people because God puts us here for a reason. God's left us all here for a reason. We've all been through our trials and tribulations, and some of us shouldn't even be alive and up and walking and talking right now. But you know what? We're here.
Right.
And I just want to tell Miss Michelle again that I am so grateful that we have finally been able to connect. And as a human being and as a person, I love her greatly. Um,
I love
the,
you
sa-
too, sweetheart.
the same as many others. And I have the necklace on that you sent me. You
The
can't see
belly,
it because
the belly button
yes, ma'am.
necklace.
Yes, ma'am.
You
I have to
see,
sit up here, and then I got the earrings that Miss Deb sent me because they go
oh,
good with the tiger eye that's on here.
yeah. Ain't you
So,
pretty?
hey, Miss Standalone, how are you, sweetie?
Hi, stands.
Yes, Malachi, in Christ we are strong, you know,
Yep.
and as long as you have faith and as long as you're sincere with the Lord and you pray to him, openly pray to him, don't shut him out. Don't shut him out, you know, because when you shut him out and you shut him down, you're messing up. You're messing up big time. And
And
I don't want,
you don't just have to pray and ask God for something every day. You know, you can just talk to him like he's your best friend because he is.
that's right.
You know, he is your best friend. Of all the human beings on the face of this planet, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, it doesn't matter. That is the one true entity that will never forsake you. Never. He gave his son's life to prove to you that
Yep.
he will never forsake you.
Yep. Amen. And the stands. I'm glad you got your salsa finished. I cooked in here last night. I fixed some homemade. Well, I didn't fix homemade biscuits, but I did fix gravy and biscuits. And it got 78 degrees up over in here yesterday. I run the dryer for about 45 minutes to after I wash a blanket to dry it. And it got so hot in here, and that AC just kept running and running and running. And I
Yep,
finally looked to see what the temperature was in here. So I had to readjust my thermostat to the temperature and then slowly work it down um, because it was just putting too much of a strain on that AC unit.
yep,
And I was not wanting the motor to go out like it did last year. So I nursed it. So but yeah,
yep,
love can be a great thing. And like I said, you can show love in a lot of many ways, you know, um, even to total strangers that you pass on the street just by a simple gesture or something kindness that you do for them. Um, whether they drop something and you just reach down and pick it up and you tell them to have a blessed day. And
Yep.
remember, God loves you. You know, when you think nobody else loves you, just know that God still loves you,
Yep.
you know, and then it that causes you to engage in a conversation uh, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. But I just felt compelled to let Miss Michelle know that I love her dearly, as well as everybody that's in the chat room and whoever is sitting on the sidelines. Um, and I pray that Idaho Garden Girl is careful out there working in her garden and stuff. And I know she takes a break every once in a while, but boy, she's got her hands full um,
Yes, she does.
when working in that garden and stuff, um, with the heat as bad as it is. And Mrs. Sister Malachi, I hear the UK has gotten extreme heat for the first time in many, many years as well
Yep.
over there. Um, and London and England and some other parts of Europe over there is they've got fires going on. Residential people losing their homes, their cars, all their personal belongings and everything. And to hear them say that they're blaming it on the heat just kind of rubs me the wrong way because I just don't see how um, there's more to it than just the heat. And I'm going to leave it at that because I'm not going to bust loose and start ranting about uh, the Green New Deal.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, because it ain't no deal at all, in
I
my opinion.
saw I saw on the news last night one of the news channels in London was talking about their average temperature for this time of year is between 78 and 82
Hmm.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
Okay. And are they are in the 90s and hundreds,
yeah,
and those firemen and EMS people, they just can't keep up. They just, they just can't keep up. They're not anywhere. That's like taking somebody from Norway and planting them in the Saharan desert,
yeah,
you know, in a day's time. They're not used to that. They, you have to acclimate to that kind of extreme temperature change.
hmm,
And, those poor people, they didn't, I mean, they wake up one day and it's 90. They wake up the next day, it's 95. They wake up the next day, it's 98. They and
yeah.
it's like somebody just keeps turning the oven up, you
And
know.
Malachi's right. It is a setup. It's all part of the game plan. You know, um, they've
And
had this
it's
stuff in the works for many, many years, and um, they don't fully understand what it is. They think they understand. They think they got a grasp and understand what they're doing, but deep down inside, they don't really know what they're fixing to reap across the world.
mm-mm.
And it's going to come back and it's going to bite them and it's going to bite them hard, real hard. So
I
all their
seen
fame and glory and all their money and all their assets, they ain't worth a crap pushing, pulling, riding, or walking. And I'm trying to be nice now because I could get real ugly and very vulgar. But I'm gonna try
trust
my
me,
best.
y'all. Trust me, she can. Trust me.
Oh,
Don't
some
make
of
her
them,
mad.
some some of them know.
I seen a beautiful quote earlier this week, and
Oh,
it said, "The devil may be running this world, but God owns this world."
and God will
So,
have His will say.
exactly. So, when, when God has said, okay, enough, just like
Hmm.
he did in the day of Noah, when he said, enough of this crooked world behavior, and the floods came, that was God's way of cleansing the earth. And he will do it again
And He
on
will
his
destroy
time.
it. Hmm.
I
And it's
don't
like,
think,
yeah. Go ahead, Michelle.
I personally don't think that the world will necessarily end, like go up in smoke or, blow up or disintegrate or none of that. Because in the Bible, several times it says different passages, and it says the world without end. Amen.
Yeah,
So I don't, it may be unpopulated, you know, he may, you know, destroy the human beings, but God has the ability to, you know, bring those human beings back.
yeah. And
And so, you know, um, I've always believed that, Malachi. I've always believed that some type of thermal event, be it fire, bombs, nuclear, global warming, whatever the case may be, I've always believed that the God will cleanse the world by fire or some type of thermal event. That's just always been, you know,
well, I'm gonna tell y'all, like I've told Michelle and others, my biggest prayer right now to the Lord is to save our world. And the only way, in my eyes, to see to save the world is to destroy all these satellites and stuff that they have out there in orbit. And even if it sets us back to many years ago, to where you actually had to have a fireplace and things like that to survive, I think I would rather try to tough it out like that versus what they're trying to push on us right now. I really
right,
would. Um, because if you look at the footages from these fires from these other countries and stuff, I don't know about y'all, but they remind me of the fires and stuff from out west on the west coast.
yeah,
How certain things got disintegrated, but yet some trees were okay. Homes were disintegrated, cars was melting, and things like that. And it just kind of strikes me as very, very odd. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but um, that's just me looking at things from my perspective. And everybody's got opinions. Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one.
right,
Um, and with this technology, eons ago, I was talking about this earlier with, I think it was Michelle and Miss Deb. Eons ago, this was all these countries was one great big continent. You know, Open your mind and think about it, because there's no way that in certain locations could they do the things that they did and get these things built the way that they did. And to me, when I stop and look at it, and I look at the layouts of the maps, of the world and stuff. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You can piece it back together. However, there are pieces missing because it got sunk down in the ocean. Okay, it got destroyed. It's in the ocean. But and then it just, parts of it drifted. Everything just drifted away. Um, Sweet Skates, hi there,
Hi
and
there.
welcome to the chat room. Um, but to me, that's me looking at it. Okay, I don't know that other people look at it like that, but here in the U.S., we have found Nephilims. Okay, we have found um, what was the big mammoths and other things here in the U.S., just like in other parts of the world. You
Yep.
know, I'm sorry, but they all didn't walk across water. They
Nope.
walked across land. And that land had to be all interconnected at one time in order for these herds of animals to move from one spot to another spot.
Yep.
Just like man, Nephilims, they were big men, big women, you know. But I'm sorry, they're not big enough to walk across the deepest oceans,
Right.
you know. And you look at some of the buildings that you have with these huge, gigantic doors and openings and stuff like that, and these gigantic rooms. I'm sorry, but they're not for normal sized people like us. These are for
Right.
people that lived hundreds of thousands of years ago, people that lived for hundreds of years,
Mhm.
as to where we're lucky if we make it past our 50s or our 60s in most cases. Some of us are fortunate enough to make it to our 90s, and even some others are even fortunate enough to make it to 100 and plus, you
Yeah.
know. So the ones that's made it to 100 and plus, they live a whole different lifestyle than what we do because they don't get out here, they don't go and eat all this junk food, they don't go out here and eat all these restaurants and stuff. No, they grow their own crops and they eat their own crops.
Yep.
You know, and
And
yes, the Nephilim are
they don't
fallen
make
angels and demons.
20 trips to town.
Right?
My mother and father-in-law is still like that. They write down everything they have to do, and if they have a doctor's appointment, they take that list with them. They get everything they need in town that day, and they
Yep.
go back home. They don't go
Yep.
back home and then say, "Oh, darn, I forgot to go by the drugstore and pick up this. I forgot
Yeah.
to go," and then the next day, "Oh, I forgot to go by the grocery store and pick up bananas and milk." They
Yeah.
don't do that. They do without until
Yeah.
you know, the next time they're in town, you know.
Sweet Escape. You're welcome and thank you for joining in the chat room. I'm not for sure if you're a new sub to my channel or not, but you're welcome as long as we keep uh, the chat room clean and respect each other. We're good to go. Um, so, but yeah, I mean, back in the day, that's the way it was, and people did the bartering system. One neighbor made uh, the milk and cheese, or
Yep,
um, whatever it was that the butter, and they would trade things
right.
to help each other's out, and um, the women would get together, they would get their old clothing together, they would cut the buttons off of the clothing and save the buttons and cut
Yep,
out patterns and piece them together and make quilts for their families and stuff like that. And you don't see that anymore. and you said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, ma'am, thank you, sir, you're welcome.
Yep.
And it's not like, when you say, excuse me, hey, Billy, how are you doing this evening, sweetie?
Hey,
Glad you joined
Billy.
us. Because we got love for you too, Billy. And Miss Kim's got love for everybody that comes in the chat room. I appreciate each and every one of you, and even those that sit on the sideline and don't say nothing. I still got love for y'all too.
Yep.
And um, you
Well, the
know,
thing is, if they're watching on Roku, they can't type. So always remember that.
well, I don't know that I make it to Roku, but I don't know how Roku works. But thank you.
Roku just is, it's like the Fire Stick. They have it plugged in and they can go to YouTube and watch anything that YouTube puts out. They just can't type.
Gotcha. Okay.
It doesn't give you the ability to type. You can watch and listen and stuff like that, but in order to type, they would have to get on their iPad or their tablet or their computer or phone or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I did not know that. Thank you. Um, but because I hear other YouTube channels talk about it too, um,
Yeah.
but I never looked into it. Now I know my daughter in her room, she does have Roku on her TV. It's not, she doesn't watch anything on Roku, but because her sister didn't set it up for Roku, but um, I had to let her sister do that because I'm not all that tech savvy. I'm gonna tell you.
Me neither. My knowledge goes a little bit, and then the rest of it I learned from other people. You know.
But it's like I told I can't remember if it was Michelle or Deb, but it was one of them earlier today. I was talking about how my father, when we were little, took us to the redwood forest over on the west coast, and them trees were massive. Of
Yes.
course, I was little. I was about, I don't know, probably about 7, 8 years old. But I remember those trees.
Yep.
You could put probably 10 people together and still not be able to connect hands around them trees because they were so massive
Oh
and
yeah.
oh my gosh, they were tall. And I remember that there was a place, it was like a little roadside museum, and and the the glass coffin, that's what I'm gonna call it, a glass coffin, there was a Nephilim in there. They called it a giant, is what they called it.
Hmm.
Um, but and they had other stuff there, like a mathathon, or I probably ain't saying this right. Um, but they had animals and stuff in there that you normally wouldn't see here in the U.S. You would only hear that they existed over in other countries. Well, that's a bald-faced lie. They did not just exist in other countries. They existed here in this country as well.
Right.
Um, and back eons and eons and eons ago, they had such advanced technology that was beyond our beliefs. We couldn't believe the technology had, but they had to have it. If you stop and think about it with an open mind and common sense, will tell you that they had to have advanced technology way back then because of the fact of how accurate, and I do mean accurate down to the last little nook and cranny, how they built things, and all that stuff still stands today,
Look at
a
the
big majority,
pyramids.
you know, and because there's no way on this earth that people moved them the way that they try to claim that they did. There's just no way,
Right.
you know, and for them to have the ability to have power, harnessing power from the energy of the earth, uh, and how precise they was about where they built things and how they built things for the different light sources to hit and everything. It's just, I mean, and then you got the Smithsonian that came in over there on the West Coast and just took all that stuff out from that museum and took it and hid it away from the public's eye because they didn't
Hmm.
want the public seeing it no more. Because people started questioning them. They didn't want to answer those questions, you know. And
Yeah,
they're looking right now today. These people are still looking for certain things, and God's got them buried so deep that they're not going to find them.
right.
And I pray that they never do find them. You know, um, Nephilims was angels in heaven that left with Satan. They gave information to man when they arrived on earth. Well, they brought a lot of technology with them too, you know, and so that's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's not nobody else's opinion. It's for you to make your own decisions, you know, on what you read, and for them to they have been lying to us and manipulating us for so many centuries that it's not even funny. When certain groups of people put out books to point things out, what happens to them? They get taken out to lunch and they don't get back. They don't come back.
Right.
They write books. Well, their books. They search the world over to find all these books and to burn them because they don't want that information out. You know, because they're covering up.
Can I
Uh,
just say, Billy, some of my best ones was with myself too.
I
I
hear
ain't
you,
got to
Bill.
worry. I ain't got to worry about making nobody mad. I ain't got to worry about their beliefs are different than my beliefs. I ain't got to worry about none of that. So conversations with yourself can bring you answers that you never thought possible.
Yeah, Malachi, I got worried when I started answering myself too, honey. Believe me, they say that's a real sign of somebody that's crazy. And the only thing I can say is about that is, well, I've been diagnosed by a psychologist, and he's got the paperwork. And I'm only
Exactly. Everybody on the face of this planet, unless you were deformed, has a left brain and a right brain. And yes, they do talk to each other, even if you're not conscious of it, but they talk to each other. If they didn't,
Yep.
uh, you know, they'd be a problem because the left brain controls the right side of your body, you know. So,
I've had people tell me I was nuts too, Billy. When I tell them, well, I say, well, if I'm a nut, well, I ain't gonna finish that. Y'all might misinterpret it, so I'm just gonna hold off on that.
right?
But yeah, it's
I,
like Michelle said. And speaking of the brain, we don't even use a good percentage of our brain because, um, we do have mental telepathy powers, but we don't use them because we've never learned about them. We have a lot of different things that we could do with our mind and stuff, but our mind is not open to all of that stuff, because of the different generations and the different ways of teaching throughout the different generations kind of pushed all that aside, just like it don't exist. But it really does exist. It really does. And scientists will tell you, yeah, most people don't use their full brain function. You know, they never have. Um,
Yep.
and there are some people out here that can do mental telepathy. They can move objects just by thinking about it and things like that, you know. And some people would say that's a sign of Satan, you know, and things like that. And it doesn't have to be a sign of somebody being possessed with Satan. It just means that some people have that mental capacity to do that, you know. Doesn't have to have anything at all to do with Satan. But, um, you know, again, you have to, um, three cheers for the empty heads. Okay, Malachi. Sometimes I've, Billy, okay. Right. They hooked my granddaughter and myself up to electrical wires in our heads, and we watched a ball and had to use our mind to push the ball to the other. It was fun. Uh, really, Mary? Miss Mary? Dancing with bears and running with wolves? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not. Uh, you know, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I had dreams just Friday night that I couldn't move an object with my mind, and I could remember being frustrated in my dreams. Wow, Billy. Was you drinking? Did you have a beer or two?
Was you smoking that Delta 8? I'm sorry, Billy. I'm just picking on you. I'm trying to lighten the mood. Serious religious talk gets me in a mood because everybody believes something different. Just accept people the way they are. Who knows? You might learn something from them. If you brush them off and kick them to the side because they're different than you may be kicking somebody to the curb that could have been your very best friend.
Billy said he'll try that next time.
Okay, it's good stuff. I'm just saying. You do
Well,
what
Harold was here. He said he'd be back, but I haven't seen him pop back in the chat room. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to do this live stream because you know I do got a lot of love for everybody out there, and I'm not as bad as people think I am. Just because sometimes I go on a rant page and I say things on my YouTube channel. Um, it's only because I've been in other YouTube channels and I see how some things are being done and
right,
how uh, some people will use their channels to lie and manipulate to get people to do what they want them to.
right.
And, um, you know, it breaks my heart. So I unsubscribed to about 15 channels, at least 15, that I know that do that. And it's not like they come to my channel anyway. And if they do, it's after I've ended a live stream and they never leave a comment or anything to let me know that they've been there. But it's okay. Again, I'm not butthurt, you know, because to me that's just childish and petty. And for me to act like that, that would mean my IQ went from this down to this, like I was talking about in my live stream Friday night, you
Yeah,
know. And I don't know what my IQ is. I don't really care what my IQ is. It's just that I know that I got common sense and street smarts. And to me, common sense and street smarts is better than a high college education. In
now wait
most
a
parts,
minute.
I said in most parts. I'm not downing everybody that's I ain't downing anybody that's got a college education. I applaud them for being able to go to college and get an education. It just was not for me,
Right,
you know. I dropped out of school at 16, got married and had 3 kids, and well, here I am. Um,
right.
Dirk,
Hi,
Dirk,
Derek.
oh, Derek, good
Mhm.
afternoon. I don't think I've seen that one in my chat room either.
Welcome in,
Um,
Derek. Glad to have you.
just be nice and courteous to everybody in the chat room and be respectful and don't get ugly. That's all
Yep,
I ask. Malachi said I went to college for hard knocks.
yep.
Yes, yes, Malachi. Um, well, I mean, I didn't go to hard knocks. I didn't
I
go to
did.
lock up. I didn't go to lock up.
I did. My stepdaddy, my stepdaddy tried to hurt my mama, and I beat the crap out of him with the old phones that used to hang on the wall, and you pick the receiver part up.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
that's the closest thing I could reach. I picked it up and beat him in the head with it, and he filed charges against me.
Well, I
So
mean,
the
I went to
police,
jail for self-defense, but you know,
the
and they
police
registered
come and
my
got
hands
me
and feet.
at my grandma's house.
No,
And
no.
my grandma didn't play. Now, y'all had to know my grandma. She didn't play. She was your typical mountain Appalachian grandma, and she didn't
Right.
play.
Yep.
And when they come after me, she came out on that porch, even scared the police officer. He was like, "Oh,
Malachi, you gonna start talking about food?
of course she is."
She's sitting there saying, "I'm munching."
But,
Oh my goodness.
you know, it is what it is. But of course, by the time I saw the magistrate, he was like, "Get in your car and go home, child." I was only 17,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
told me, get back in your car." The police officers let me follow them to the jailhouse,
Oh
and
my
because they
goodness.
was scared of my grandma.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, and then I had to go to court, and I was there, and the judge laughed at my stepdaddy and said, "Really? Really? Assault, huh?
Uh,
She should have broke both your legs, is what she should have done."
oh my
And
goodness.
he dismissed the case and had the sheriff's department escort me to my car because he didn't trust my stepdad not to hurt me. And that was the end of that.
Well, Malachi, speaking of sandwich, ice cream, and cake, we have a few people that has birthdays coming up and stuff.
And I
But
want
I'm gonna do
cake.
a, I'm,
Mhm,
huh?
mhm. I want cake, vanilla cake with buttercream vanilla icing and vanilla bean ice cream.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Um, I had Miss Phyllis and I were talking, and I was hoping we were talking about pulling a surprise on Miss Michelle here, but
Hmm.
after I got to figuring out how far it was from my house to where I'd have to take Sydney, and then from Sydney to get Miss Phyllis, and then for me and Miss Phyllis to get to Michelle's, and
Woo.
then for me to take Phyllis all the way back to her house, and then go back and get Sydney and come home. I'm looking at over a 3,000-mile round trip,
Hmm.
and at today's gas prices and hotel motel prices and food prices, unfortunately, I couldn't do that. And then my service engine light come on, so I got an issue with a small issue. It's no big issue because my transmission still shifts and it's not, going all out of whack. It's something simple. But hope I'm praying that it's just something simple. I'll find out Tuesday. But either way, we do have some people's birthdays coming up this weekend, and I will be doing another live stream uh, Saturday,
Oh, come on, Mary.
and I'll hitchhike. Uh, Hello, been a while.
Hey, we all know Mary can make it, man. She did the Appalachian Trail from start to finish. So
Oh
we
my
all know
goodness!
she can hike it.
Look, they're
I'll make
talking about chocolate cake, ice cream, all this stuff, and
peanut butter
all this fattening
frosting,
stuff. What happened to y'all's diet? Y'all
right?
just give up on the diet?
Fruit.
Yeah, they give up on the diet.
Of course, I can be good. I can be healthy with my birthday cake. I can eat fruit cake. Don't bother me a bit. I ain't got a problem with it at all.
I can't say nothing. I made a cake over here the other week, and well, Sydney ate the biggest portion of the cake, and
Well,
then her teacher. I bought the stuff to make the teachers the cupcakes, the red, white, and blue cupcakes that they wanted, and then they told me, no, never mind. Now, Malachi, you sound like you did on the video talking to Tommy and them.
yeah, seafood, eat it. That's what kind of seafood diet I'm on. Seafood, eat it.
I eat one meal a day, and that's between 2 and 4 o'clock, and then I don't eat nothing else.
Unfortunately, I'm supposed to force myself to eat,
Well,
but I
you
don't
you
do it
you
because,
your health and my health is two different circumstances. You have to make
yeah,
yourself eat some things because of health issues,
right.
Um, but as to me, I just train my body to eat once a day. Now, I will snack on something light in the morning, uh, you know, if I'm hungry, like toast or a boiled egg or something like that. But um, usually between two
Malachi.
two and four. Um,
Oh, Malachi gets me every time.
she's a mess. Do you want the link to come up here, Malachi? I'll send you the link. If you got to work tomorrow, she'd probably tell me, "No, I got to work tomorrow."
I think she worked for like 8, 10 days in a row so she could go camping.
Yeah, her and that fart spray, and then going over to Lenny's tent, not just a spray, fart spray in there, okay? And the guy still sleeps. She takes a pot and a spoon and she's cracking up laughing. You can hear her laughing. And Tommy's trying to keep his cool. And she's bam, 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 bam.
Yep.
Wake up. We're going for a ride into town. You want to go? No.
Yeah.
He said no.
Oh, Lord, she is a character. Listen, y'all, if you ever get down and you just feel like you're in a nasty, old, ugly kind of day, uh,
A punk.
just email Malachi. She'll fix it in 5 minutes. Just give her 5 minutes and she will have you feeling like you're on top of the world. Yep, sure enough.
Yeah.
She will.
She can get up here and show her pink flamingo and her what else was it that she had? The monkey, what was it that did the poo?
Was it a monkey or was it a like a rooster thing, chicken or something?
I can't remember. It's been a minute. I'd have to go back and look at my videos.
Oh yeah,
But
Malachi can fix your unhappiness no matter what it is. I mean, you know, it is the best medicine. It
laughter is good
is.
for us old.
Yep.
Malcolm, I'm gonna send you a link if you won't come up here.
The
Um,
emu. The
the
emu
emo.
poop. Emu poop.
A toy.
We out here have the deer poop
And cow.
and cow.
I,
Oh,
I need some of that cow manure.
nobody said a word. Nobody has even asked me, did I get my buffalo yet?
You, did you get a buffalo? I didn't know you was trying to get a buffalo.
Yeah, my husband bought two bison. We're gonna see about
Oh, that is
we're
so
gonna
awesome.
see about we're gonna see about raising some buffalo.
Oh, nice, nice. Hey,
Yeah,
buffalo hide is good.
yep.
I don't know about buffalo meat. Not that I ever recall eating any buffalo meat, but their hide is real good if you skin them. You know, um,
Hey, buffalo burgers are the bomb.
wow,
Well, I don't know if you'd really. I think it's called bison burgers.
yeah,
And then my son, he's eaten bison jerky before, so now he's all excited, thinking he's gonna butcher my bison and make some jerky. No, you ain't gonna. No. And then of course my husband says these ain't pets. They're meant to feed you. Well, I'd rather have a pet
um,
than eat.
yeah. Derek, I see dancing with wolves there. Asking you questions in the chat room, and you said you were from Miami, Florida. Um, I've been to Miami once. I stayed down there with a friend of mine. She was Coast Guard. I met her in Hawaii, and then she got transferred to Miami. And when I came back here uh, to this part of the country, because now Hawaii is part of the U.S., I looked her up and went down and stayed with her for a couple of months down there in Miami. And man, you got to be careful pulling up at some of the red lights down there because these folks be pulling guns out and shooting people and chasing people through red lights and everything. And I was like, am I on a movie set or something? Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Uh,
Miami's about as bad as Seattle. Woo.
and it scared me. I was like, I think I'm gonna ease on back up to Alabama and stay around Alabama for a while, around my grandparents for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is far away.
I'm in Texas, so I'm central to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
You're only about 700 and something miles from me.
yeah. So, if anybody wants to have a meet and greet, I say we meet here on the farm. That's what I say. But don't try to be doing a meet and greet between May and October because you can't handle the heat.
Hi, my
I'm just
sister from another mother.
Hi, hi,
Hey,
Michelle.
baby cakes,
Hi, everybody in chat. Hit that like button.
hit that like button. Leave your DNA on that like button.
somebody, look, there she goes, showing off what she's
Yeah,
eating. Oh my goodness.
I'm not
Um,
looking at you, Malachi.
Oh my goodness. But I was fixing to say something and lost my train of thought. It must not have been too important. Um, but yeah, do you see that rock that I got from Michelle?
Oh,
Oh, see, there it is.
Oh, let me put her up here on the big screen.
the pooping emu.
Yep,
I can't find his wee toilet.
that's my favorite
Oh, the
toy.
camera fell. Her cell phone fell. She's went sideways.
Put it here. Where's he go? It moves.
Uh-oh, gotta go.
Look at that neck.
I want that toy.
He sings when he's on the toilet. I can't find his wee toilet.
Oh, I want that toy.
Oh my goodness.
I
Uh,
love Malachi. You cannot be
but
sad when you're
did you see
around.
the inside of the rock, Malachi?
Yeah, hold it up again.
I'm gonna show you.
Mary said she licked the like button.
Mhm.
Ain't
Mary.
that
Well, I'm glad
beautiful?
it's on your own device. Isn't that pretty?
And that
Which
was
way
a
I had it?
perfect analogy. Put that right back together and hold it up. Okay. Do you
I do.
see that? Do you see? Can you imagine that every person in the world is like that rock? We all have different lumps and bumps and crevices and stuff on the outside. But take a minute and take that human being and pretend that you're opening them up. And when you open them up, that right there on the inside is what God created.
The beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly. You
Mhm.
know,
You know.
that's what God created is on the inside. You know,
Yep.
that's where the love and compassion and understanding and not giving a hoot if you read, this Bible or that kind of Bible or that kind of Bible or that kind of Bible. Open any of us up. Take a rock and open any of us up and just
Yep.
look at what God created on the inside.
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And like
Yep,
I said, I've met some great people on YouTube, and I've met some not so great people on YouTube. But all of my regular ladies and gentlemen that come in my chat room, and I go in other chat rooms, I just want them all to know that I do have a love for each and every one of you. And I pray for each and every one of you. I even pray for people I don't even know who you are. I don't even know where you're at. I don't know your
amen.
circumstances, but prayer is the strongest thing that we can do worldwide in unison, no matter what religion you fall under, you
Right,
know, um, because without prayer and without works and without faith, you're doomed. You're doomed. That's all I can
yep,
say. And I don't want to see nobody doomed, and I don't want to see nobody go to Hades. You know, God don't want
right,
to see you go there. He wants you to open up your mind and open up your heart and know that your temple is within you, not in the four walls of a church, but within you.
right.
You know, His blood runs through your veins. He's the one that bred life into everyone. Good evening, Idaho. I was talking about you earlier, lady, and
Hey,
about the
Idaho.
garden. working and listening. See, now that lady right there, she's working her fingers to the bone. And if y'all have not subbed to her channel and you have not seen some of her stuff that she does in her garden, and she's entered in, I think she's entered in a few competitions and stuff, gardening competitions and stuff. And I just want to say I commend her. She is very dedicated to her garden, and phew, she's got plenty of raised garden beds out there in her yard,
Hmm.
plenty of them. And I pray that she gets enough water to get the growing cycle on up there more than what it has been. But with this extreme heat, it's wreaking havoc across this
Yep,
country. Um,
it
and
is.
Jesse was just talking about a while ago before I went live. Well, almost an hour ago before I went live about um, the Southwest, all the way from the West Coast down south. Um, Everybody's in three-digit numbers, and it's coming across in the deep south of the parts of the United States.
Hmm.
So y'all get prepared, get ready. Uh, you don't know if you're going to have power outages. You don't know what's going to happen with these heat waves that they're conducting across the world right
Yep.
now. And like I said, don't get me started on all that because I could blow up like a bottle rocket.
Wake up, Malachi.
We have had lovely weather here. We haven't had the extreme heat, and it's been really lovely. I've been sitting out in the sun and in the gazebo and that. It was pretty hot Monday and Tuesday, but we're back to normal temperature. It was lovely today. I painted my arbor, so I did in the garden. But no,
Mm.
we haven't been getting that really, really strong heat.
Well, that's good, but I guess it just depends on. I don't know. I don't. I would have to pull the weather map up and look and see exactly what the weather is over in the different parts of the country, which I have not done. So I can't. I can only go by some things that people have put out on their YouTube channels and stuff about things that are going on.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
Well, know what I picked up on the news? London's been hit really hard, but I believe that's a curse. Uh, when you are told, right, that there's a severe weather coming in,
yeah.
or whatever, what's the first thing that you do? You would send, the people out to scout around the different areas. They think it's going to be the trouble spots, for
Right.
dried out grass and stuff. You would send the different fire brigades out in the different towns to soak everything down really well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There was no preparation done at all. Nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
that's the same global wide. They don't do that.
Why?
When they know
Doesn't make sense to me. If
they
you know something's
they
coming
don't
in,
care.
something's
That's just like
like,
now back when I was growing up, you would see the firemen and stuff come out and open up the fire hydrants every so often and flush them out and let them run for a little bit. And us
Hmm.
kids, we used to run right out there in the street and just now my internet's going to act up. But we'd be running out there in the street and waiting for down in the little low line area to flood out so we could go play in it and tromp in the mud and have fun. But you don't
Yep.
see that anymore. You don't see them opening them up anymore or
Because
connecting the hose.
the city says they can't do it because it's wasting water. Water now, it's been so abused that, you know, you, I mean, even when my husband was a firefighter in the city of Austin, they used to do that all the time. Do maintenance checks on the fire hydrants. They ain't allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah,
The aquifer in Austin is going
Um,
dry. So,
yeah, and you have to ask yourself because, like I believe it was you, Michelle. I was talking about where JW did that water sample, and
mm,
the the parks and stuff that I was at. Um, like at one park, the little creek that runs through there, it used to be a lot more fuller than what it is now.
yep,
However, because of all the developing, housing developing and everything, now you don't have that water there anymore.
right.
It's very slim to none. And then when I went to the Red River at the other park where I was going to do the survival thing, that Red River, I mean, it used to be way up
Yeah,
and now it's like way down. And when you drive back on the back roads and stuff, you see all the developments and stuff going on. You see all the houses.
yep,
On you stupid internet. You have housing developments on one side, taking farmland from the other side, and building schools, building uh, the Google database center. Uh, uh, what was the other? You got schools, you got apartment complexes going up, and just tons and tons of different things, and it's diverting the water.
yep.
And um, at first, I didn't think you could even canoe past where I was at, but after I walked on down and looked where the old covered bridge used to be, that debris in the middle, yeah, there was a spot around here on this side to where you could still go on down the river. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never been in a canoe down that all the way down through there. Actually, I ain't never been in a canoe in it at all. Um, but I know plenty of people have, and I've listened to them talk on how much it's changed, how much the water is being diverted,
Yep.
you know. And I could only imagine what type of crap, I don't know what JW used to do his water analysis. If he sent it off, I don't
No,
think he sent it to a
he
lab
bought
or
it. He bought
uh,
a kit at Walmart.
oh, but to test these waters here, shh, I'd be afraid to, man, because I don't know that I want to know what's in them.
Yeah,
And
you
and
don't.
and and it's like Phyllis said. I mean, you got animal waste, you got fish waste, you got human waste,
Bird,
um,
ducks,
right, and then you got
snakes, rats.
it, people, that are on all these different medications and stuff. All that toxic being, recycled back through, for your drink. I'm glad I don't drink tap water. Oh my God, I'm so glad I don't. Because when I was a kid and we took a drop of tap water from the school and put it underneath the microscope, and I
Yep.
seen all them little microorganisms crawling around in there, I was like, "Yep, nope, no more water for
Hmm.
me. Mm-mm, nope, nope. You
Yep.
going you gonna have to purify that water before I can drink it. You're gonna have to boil it. You're gonna have to put some bleach in it. You're gonna have to put some more boiling, and you're gonna have to do some straining. You're gonna have to do a lot of shit before I drink that water. Uh-uh. Nope. 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 Ain't happening.
We can drink our tap
Mm-mm.
water here because they don't have added fluoride in it.
Yeah.
But I hate the taste of water. I'm a coffee drinker. I'm drinking tonic water now. But I'm terrible at coffee.
Yeah.
Miss
I
Mary, if you want me to send you a link, I'll send you a link and you can come up here and you can show some of your paintings if you want to.
Mhm.
Just let me know in the chat room.
I guess y'all heard about the president, right? Right?
Mr. Magoo,
Yeah.
what did Magoo do now? now besides go stand coal mine factory and babble off about
He
how he wanted to put solar power up everywhere?
he has the world sickness and he is sick. And so y'all know who's in charge because that makes him considered like not available. And you know what happens when the president is incapacitated health wise, you know who's in charge.
Well, we already know because we're not stupid that other people's been running things behind the scenes anyway, and it ain't neither one of the top two.
Well,
Just saying.
camel toe is in, you know, she's got this. Just say it. But
I think
Jill Biden's got it too. She's sick too. So
And
they're all sick
well, they
over
said
there.
he wouldn't make it through his second term, so there you go.
I
What
think
a good
uh,
excuse.
Camel Toe is wanting to be the person in charge.
of course she is.
Hmm.
Who wouldn't?
But but
Not
there's
only would she be the first woman, you know, to be president, but she'd be the first black woman to be president. That's what she wants to show off.
Hmm.
she's mixed nationalities. She's not even.
I know.
Let's don't.
I know.
Yes. Oh, bite my tongue. Oh, don't do
Yeah.
it. Don't fall for it, Kim. Don't.
So, you know,
I could go off. I told you like a
she
bottle
is
rocket. Mm.
biracial and but she identifies
Mm.
as a true black lady. That's her choice.
There you go,
But
Idaho. Nailed it.
I'm going I pray not for, you know, necessarily the Magoo himself, but I pray for the office, you know, the office that he holds. That is the, you know, the office that leads our country. So, you know, if you believe in prayer, I would say pray for humanity and pray for the office of
Yeah.
which it's held. That we, you know, we don't end up going into some kind of, you know, I don't want to have to live through another, you know, period of time like they did when Kennedy died. I know
Right.
it's two different circumstances, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the whole world was in torment over Kennedy dying, and I don't want to see our country go through that kind of trauma and torment. I'd rather it be, you know, a regular, you know, either get him out of office or wait till the next election type thing.
Right. Right.
I don't
Um.
want, go
Yeah.
ahead.
She stepped outside to have her a cigarette break. She'll be back in a minute. Um. Talking to Derek there. Mary told him she had to step outside. She going to get her a cigarette. Um.
Right.
See, over here when we're doing voting, we get sent. You have to be registered to vote with all your
Yeah.
details and all. You give that to the government and your address and age and date of birth and nationality, the whole lot, and then they do a check to make sure that the information that you've given is true,
Yeah.
and then they send you a polling card, with a number on it. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to
Hmm.
take a polling card and photographic ID to the polling station and they check it, and then you can make your vote.
Yeah.
We
Um,
don't postal votes. I don't know. There might be for people that are abroad. I'm not sure, but we have to go in person and produce photographic ID and that polling card. And if we don't have them, you don't get in to vote.
yeah, we
Yeah.
used to do that here, but they kind of blew that off. And Derek, yeah, we ain't, myself personally, I can't forget about that day because that's my birthday.
Yeah. I will never forget 9/11 ever. My
And that was
husband.
all a setup. That was all an inside job to take down several locations to cover up for a lot of stuff that's been going on. And we all know that if you're awake and you've got the veils, layers of veils on your eyes pulled off, we all know that, you
Well, see,
know.
for them to introduce, their latest thing for society, they have to destroy what is already before they can put their plan into place. And that's what you're seeing that's going on around the world. They have to destroy something and then they come out with something new. And if you look over the past 15 years, there's a pattern of that. Something's destroyed, they come out with something new. Something else is destroyed, they come out with something new. Uh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would have to be totally blind and deaf not to see it, you know.
yeah. But all of y'all that is in the chat room right now and that has been in here since I've been on the live stream, and even for y'all that rewatch this and listen to it later, please be sure and watch uh, for the time on Saturday. I'll be posting it Friday night, and y'all please show up because I want y'all to show some love and support to a few people. Um, Not necessarily me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with some other people. Um, like I said, some people's got some birthdays coming up and stuff, and just want to show them some love and support and wish them a happy birthday on Saturday. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. So,
I'll try
because
and
a lot of people's got birthdays coming up this next week and stuff, and I just want to do one live stream and just to everybody.
Don't be
Uh,
sneaky, Kim.
I'll try,
it's hard
but
to be sneaky with you, Michelle. The
I
best
know.
I want it to be sneaky and just slip on down Texas and surprise you and be there for your birthday.
I know.
I said, my God, I could hear her sobbing right now. She'd be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't believe she did it. She came.
I would have fell over in the floor.
Except, see, I don't have Robert's phone number or no way to contact Robert or anybody in your family. So, other than you. So it's kind of hard to work that out because I don't know what your family has planned for you, and I'm sure it'll be a good one.
Where I told you we're having cake and ice cream.
But
That's
you
what
know,
we're doing.
um, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
say I'm doing a live stream, doing something, you never know.
His birthday's the 28th. Derek's birthday's the 28th.
Awesome.
Mine's
Um,
Sunday, the
my
24th.
my niece's is today, and I was actually supposed to be at her dinner in her little get together, a couple exits from here, but because I'm having car issues, I'm afraid to drive my car that far because I've had dreams about my car stopping on me, just stopping cold turkey. Um, and until I get that fixed, I'm not taking a chance on driving it out of town.
Right.
Well,
So,
I was in work last night, and Tommy usually comes around and collects me, and he
yeah.
didn't arrive, and I phoned him to see where he was. He says, I'm up the garage in the village. He says, I can't get the car to start. Here's me, what do you mean you can't get the car to start? He says, the key won't turn. What do you mean the key won't turn? It won't turn in the ignition.
Oh no.
Here's me, what the heck? I says, where are you? Here's me. Well, I'm going to have to walk over. I've hurt my ankle. So I had to hobble over through the park, up through the village to the garage, and there he was sitting, trying everything. And as he was wiggling the key, the windows started going down on my side and his side.
Oh Lord.
Then he
Yeah.
goes, did you put them down? Here's me, no. I says, when you were wiggling the key, they went down. Couldn't get it turned. Couldn't do nothing with it. Here's me, well, we can't leave the car here, I says, with the windows down. I says,
Mm-hmm.
because vandals, he says, well, nobody can take it because the steering's locked on. Here's me, no, but the kids can get in and wreck it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had to phone my daughter and says, we're stuck. She thought it was really funny. Here's me in the top of it all. I need a pee.
Uh-oh. Game over. Yep.
So he had to walk up to the, here's me, in your insurance policy, does that cover breakdowns or anything? I says, because I think it does. So he says, well, I don't
Nope.
have it
My
on.
ours don't.
He had to walk up to the house, get the insurance policy, and bring it down. In the meantime, I'm on the phone to Delaney going, you won't believe this. I'm sitting in the car at the garage. I says, we can't get it started. He's away up to get his insurance policy. My daughter's on the phone trying to see if she can get a tow company because the two garages she's phoned, they're all on holiday and they're closed. I says, we're
Yeah.
not going to get a mechanic at this time of night. So I says, and to top it all, I'm sitting here and I need a pee.
Mm.
He's going, do you want me to come up? He says, I can do it through my bank. He says, and I can just say it's my car and they'll tow you home. I says, wait till he give us 10 minutes. I says till he comes back to see if the policy covers it. So I'm sitting there and sitting there and sitting there and I'm going, where the heck is he? Has he taken a huff or something? He's sitting at home. So Lenny's driving from about 4 or 5 different towns away to get over to me. So the next thing he turns up and yes, in the policy, it covers, a breakdown. They'll get you home or get you to the nearest garage or whatever. So he rung
Mm-hmm.
them, no answer, kept ringing and ringing and ringing. And the daughter phoned and here's me, we're still sitting here. I says, I'm busting to go to the toilet. She couldn't move for laughing. She thought it was hilarious. Here's me, it's not funny. I says, I'm
Right.
a sore ankle, I can hardly walk. I've had to walk up through the village. I'm sitting here bussing for a pee. I says, and the blooming car won't start, and now the windows is down. And the people that can't help us won't answer. So he Googled, so we did. I'm sitting going, is it the fuses? Is it this? Is it that? And Lenny was on his way up, to get us sorted, to get us towed. So I
Yeah.
says, look, or he says he Googled WD-40, couple of wee squirts in where your ignition is,
Yeah.
and put
Mm-hmm.
your key up, do it on your key and rub it,
Right. Yeah.
put it in. So he tried it, wasn't working. Here's me up to heck with this. I'm going to, across the road to the supermarket to get to the loo. I says I'll be back in a minute. So there's me hobbling across the road over to the supermarket, into the toilet, and I just made it and out again, back over the road. And the windows was up, and I opened the car door and it was lit me. I got it. It started. Here's because I prayed over it. Here's me, Lord, please get us home. Do something. So here's me. Oh, praise the Lord.
Yep.
So
Well,
Amen.
okay. And we parked it up and I says, now don't start mucking about with that tonight because if it rains tonight, those windows, we can't get them up. I
yeah.
says, it'll be about wait till tomorrow and then you can ring around and contact somebody and see what it's about. I got it up on
Yeah.
YouTube the make and model of the car, and what would cause it and how to fix it and how
Yeah.
much it would cost, to get it redone. But
Yeah.
he went out this morning and it started, no problem.
It was
And
probably the steering wheel because if you have the steering wheel and you turn it so far and it's real tight,
mhm,
you can stick your key in the ignition and it won't go
It
until
won't
you grab a
turn.
hold of that steering wheel and try to move it, and then it will unlock it.
Yeah.
he was wiggling it, as far as he could because the steering
Yeah.
lock's on, it's automatic, but
Yeah.
nothing was going. But it started this morning. So I says, you need to do that with the WD-40 at least 3 times. And
Yeah.
also, I says to him about the keys. I says,
Yeah.
is the battery in the keys okay? Yeah, yeah. But he must have, watched YouTube or whatever. And, or no, he drove down to the garage to ask a fella about it. And he says, when's the last time you replaced the battery in your keys? He says, I've never done it. He says, it could be that the battery is that weak, that it isn't strong enough to, start the car. So
Yeah.
he had to go down and get new batteries and he put them in the keys. Nobody thinks of replacing the batteries in the keys. They never do it.
Well,
You're
I
like,
replaced my key battery, but it doesn't have nothing to do with my car starting,
yeah,
I have a
because
push button start.
um, somebody had made a duplicate key, right, of the ignition for the car, but it doesn't have the thing on it for your button and all that stuff. It's just a regular key.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it will unlock the trunk, it will unlock the door, and it will start the car, and it will run just fine without having the little key fob on there. Um, because
Or
it's not like some of the newer cars that have the folding fob, the key that folds into the fob, or it's just the fob that you just plug in there, you know. Um,
ours is
that's
like
what we
that.
call them over here anyway. So,
We have the
um,
4 buttons on it. It doesn't even look like a key. It's like a long, funny piece of metal.
yeah,
And we have 4 wee buttons on it. And when you
yeah,
press it, a wee red light comes on to let you know that it's going. And it's you press it and it unlocks the doors
right,
and also locks the doors again. And
yeah,
you need to have that in and turned, and that unlocks your steering wheel.
yeah,
And then you turn it again, and that starts your car. But
right,
he couldn't get it turned. It wouldn't recognize it basically to unlock the steering lock so that he could start it
yeah,
for some reason. So we've priced it all together for the new piece, right? And for the man hours for doing it, £325.
Mm.
to change a
And
battery in a key fob.
no, to take out, that the wee piece, the ignition
Oh,
itself, and put a
Yeah.
oh,
new one in, £325. And I says, if it's going at the minute, I says, just leave it the way it is. But if it goes again, then we will, get, the new piece put in. But you
yeah,
can buy it yourself and then get somebody to put it in for you, which is far cheaper.
well, sure, sure,
That's why I'm thankful I got a push button start.
Hmm.
You get in the car and you push the button and it starts.
Hmm.
I ain't got to stick no key nowhere. Just push
Hmm.
a button.
I
Um,
remember my mom had one of those old cars with the first push button. I took that car when I was about 11 years old and drove it on the back roads and went down to my girlfriend's house and was coming out the driveway and didn't come out at a right angle, and then it tore a big hole in the gas tank. Um, and by the time I got to the end of the road, the car was out of gas, and it was full of gas when I went down there. And
Mm.
Becky only lived like just through the woods, and I could be at her house. Um, but that day, I felt like driving mom's little push button car. You push it in reverse and back up. And you push the D and go into drive. And when I got to the end of Becky and them's driveway, and it was empty, I was like, "What happened to all the gas?" And then I let the car coast down the hill to the gas station. I pulled it in there, and I told the guy, I said, "My mom's car's out of gas." And I said, "But it was full a few minutes ago." And he's like, "What do you mean it was full a few minutes ago?" I said, "Well, just coming out of the Kilgore's driveway." And he's like, "Oh God." He looked underneath the bottom of it and he said, "Man, there's a hole in the gas tank as big as a man's fist." I was like, "Oh God, I'm in trouble."
Mm-mm.
I was in trouble. So much for
Yep,
sneaking the car and getting it back home before my mama woke up.
yep, in trouble.
Is your
She's like,
car
"You're gonna have
automatic?
to work and pay for that gas tank getting fixed." I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know."
Is your car automatic, Miss Kim?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Ours is manual.
yeah. I miss having a stick shift. I really
Me
did.
too. Wouldn't. But I couldn't drive a stick shift in over there in the UK because they
It's on the left
already
side.
drive they already drive on the wrong side of the road, and then their steering wheel and clutch and everything's on the wrong side of the car too. I'd be in
Yeah,
bad shape. I'd be
that's
hitting
it.
all kind of
That's. I
stuff.
told Malachi that too. I said, "God, if I was to come over there and try to drive, I'd be so dang confused and lost because I'd be like, no, this don't feel right." And for the passenger to be in the right hand seat and you got cars coming at,
Yep,
no,
I'd
I'd
freak
be a
out.
nervous wreck.
And the
What'd
Yep,
you say?
roundabouts. We use of intersections over there, but we have roundabouts.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Hmm.
We have some roundabouts around here too.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's like, okay, you go around them and you have to go around them a couple of times. And I'm like, where am I going? Which road am I supposed to take?
right. Which way do I go, Ralph?
Yeah, go that way.
So get
Yep.
my sisters,
Hey,
Auckland.
baby. Hey, Leaf. Hi, sugar, sugar. Hi, sugar, sugar.
Sydney said, she got to make a sneak debut. She come in to cover them up. But yeah, you know, um, well, it looks
Our,
like the chat room's come to a standstill over there.
Yeah,
Um, it says
everybody's
there's five
getting
people
tired.
watching. Um, But any hoot nanny, y'all, I'm gonna tell you again. Be sure to join me Saturday. Probably be after lunch for my Saturday live stream. I'll title it then and stuff. But I love y'all and I thank you all for joining in the chat room. And Derek and who was the other uh, young person that popped in here? Let me scroll.
Sweet.
Uh, trying to look
sweet,
and see.
It was
sweet sky
sweet.
or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, sweet
sweet.
skate.
Yeah.
Thank you, both of you. Like I said, I have never seen y'all in my chat room before. Appreciate y'all stopping in. And I want to tell some of the YouTubers that are out there that live in my area, thank you all for your support. And I did not realize that a lot of people in my area watch my YouTube channel. So I just want to tell you all, thank you for your support. And thank all the other people in the other states and countries for your support as well. I appreciate you all. I pray peace be with you all and stand strong in the faith. And remember, God loves you and Miss Kim loves you. And with that, we're going to sign out and pray peace be with everybody.
Love you guys. Happy birthday, Derek. In case I don't see you on the 28th, happy birthday.
Yep, happy early birthday. Be here Saturday.
Bye, guys.